you know, how quickly when you were a kid, you know, the first time you grab that pencil and you just express yourself and you just wanted to draw and show this emotion and your feeling.
Adnan grew up in Lebanon and Sierra Leone and came to the United States for college.
I came to the US at the age of 19 and to study architecture and city planning, and knowingly that I wanted to be an artist.
His vast studio is a repository of art and materials of his art, found objects which inspired his playful exploration of identity.
When I speak Arabic, people say, oh, you have an accent. And when I speak English, they said, you have an accent. But I tell them when I draw, I have no accent, you know. And I feel art is a universal language. And that's what I try to also draw in my art. You know, like a guy with a big nose or a square body or something, it symbolizes everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from, what color it is, or you know, we all have feelings. We all have the same tears. We all have the same laughters and happiness. I have a purpose with my art. I'm not trying to tell them, oh no, change your mind or something. Just look and find your way. I studied architecture, but I knew I always wanted to be an artist. And I did this thing, it's the same thing as like, this is the hammer that wanted to be a conductor, wanted to be a musician. Oh, you see, this is to me as the immigrant coming to America. I came with my knowledge, with everything to better my knowledge, but also to give.
8 months later, Adnan built a new studio in Midtown Detroit.
After living in Michigan for about now 14 years, I definitely felt that this is the place I have to be. As an Arab American, I feel this is my home, my place where I can create something new to add, you know, to the fabric and make it a tighter fabric, a better fabric, more colorful. To be an Arab American, you know, I have a base that I can tap into, and it's endlessly to have a great culture and everything, and I can give something good. It's about to show people that don't be afraid to say who you are, because you're only lying to yourself. All my life I wanted to be an artist, and I am an artist, and I'll always be an artist, and I want to create a studio where I can interact with others, and also I'm very well connected with Detroit, and I feel with the industrial, with the struggle. Just like my found objects, that the things I create, I felt that people use those tools and they think that they don't have any more use for it because something new is in the market or things like that, and then I give them this whole new rebirth. So, and I felt that's what Detroit is. It's you could be an artist and you can voice your own voice. I just found these recently in an estate sale, and as soon as I picked them up, I could see, like, you know, a man screaming, but that's like at the beginning, both of them, like these two old men that have been tired sitting in a box and waiting for so long for somebody to come and pick them up. And I was so excited to get them. These are the starting point. I mean, this is a world I try to create. Here, as you can see, the melancholy hammer that I built from found objects. And although itself is, it's very effective to show what I'm trying to portray, but it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to create the character and show the character in a much more deeper and heavier meaning. So I don't know what it takes me. This is just a beginning of putting something together and forming an identity, a new identity. But yet it was taken from a past. And I feel like these things were gonna be thrown out. And same thing like also an immigrant, you know, like he comes first to a country, whether they run away from war or they run away because of certain political turmoil or whatever it is, or coming for education or something, they end up taking the harder jobs, they end up moving forward, and they grow and they give something. So, and that's the same thing. It's like take these objects and build them up, and now I have a character, and from this character I can draw them, or they become monumental sculptures. This is an identity thing. It's me creating the subject and yet giving it a chance and looking at it in many, many different angles and working with it and build on it. So it's all coming from the self and from seeing things around and translate and retranslate it so the audience can look at it in a whole new way. Most important thing I find out is like you cannot hide behind your finger. You are who you are. And my wife always tells me, what's that mean? I said, well, you know, you really cannot hide behind your finger. And that's the truth. You just be yourself, be truly yourself, because you live within yourself, and you know, be proud of who you are, because that's when you're gonna give truly the most. And that, once I recognized that more, I realized how quickly I form an identity, how quickly I started to be myself and something new. And that's really what I want to show people, that no matter where they come from, to don't give up and to keep seeking and looking, because life is so beautiful.